Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in February, guys, dropping some corn off at the whiskey factory. I did some mental math, put about 2,500 liters of corn into the dryer, which will get pushed over here once it's dry, and the balance goes in here. And we should be pretty close to maximizing our whiskey return for the corn we have. It has been a busy morning getting everything done. So where do we start? We got through January. Wasn't a lot to do on the farm. We are now in February with a whole bunch of updates. The newest grass field, the one all the way across the river over there, we got cut last episode. We baled it, brought it over, turned it into silage, and sold it all in, that would have been December, made about $44,000. We brought 20,000 liters of whiskey back to the farm and put it in the cold storage. We fed the cows and bought a couple of things for the farm I wanted to share with you guys. So first and foremost, there have been quite a few comments over the last couple of weeks about automating the watering of the greenhouse. You guys are very concerned about getting all the water in there. So I went ahead and popped a water distributor on the farm down here by the greenhouses, which will take care of filling the greenhouses and should also put water into our whiskey production, which will be helpful. So you can see it spinning down here. It's a little wind-generated water distribution product, so not bad. Here it is, working in all of its glory, distributing water to all of our greenhouses and keeping everything topped off. So for everyone that was concerned and suggesting mods, which I appreciate all the input, we got that one taken care of, and the watering is automated now, which is good news. So a couple things came up in the sale. We got a new corn header, which I'll show you guys on the way back to the farm. We had the folding one that was 9 meters. A 10-meter fixed corn header came on the market. It was Case brand, actually, and lined right up with our Case harvester. And then, ironically, the very next day, which would have been this morning, the trailer for that header came up in the sale as well. So here on the left, we have our new 10-meter corn header on its new trailer, all parked up and ready to go for corn season. We won't need it until the fall, but it is here and got a little extra working with, which I always like upgrading so we can continue our efficiency in getting stuff on off the field and into the farm. The this is the Sealand. I gotta remember which trailer this is. We got a new step deck trailer. I'm gonna actually jump out and show you guys. I really like this trailer. It's a lot wider. It does two things that I really like. One, it has wings that extend, so you can make it wider so we can actually get like the harvester and stuff on there. And two, rather than having a ramp at the back, the wheels slide up and the whole thing becomes one big ramp. So we have a nice, smooth, even surface. And then if I wanted to put the wings back out, as you can see, we have a nice working width there. So nice new trailer. And that one is the, let's jump in and see which one it is. I always forget the name of it. It is the, where to go? The Kalen Siebert 48-foot step deck. So it's this one right here. We got that one on the sale, so we sold our other step deck, which served us well and was great for hauling stuff around. But as we get bigger equipment in fields further away from the farm, we're going to have to be transporting our harvester and other large equipment, and having those wings that come out and allow us to put big equipment on there squarely and securely is going to be really, really important. I'm going to go ahead and leave this guy back up here by the manure to remind myself to put more manure in our 3 oil greenhouses. We do need to get either the Magnum or the Quad Track. I think we'll use the Magnum down here to grab the manure spreader and take it over to the newest grass field so we can get that field fertilized so it starts growing. Because the plan is to still get one more cut off that field before we plant the corn, and then use that silage to sell and make some money, and then plant the corn in that field. So here we are. Yeah, I drove most of the vehicles around. Sorry about the stuttering, guys. We're at patch 1.10 today. Got all the shader caches refreshing, and I thought we had them all done. Did some driving around ahead of time, and that one just wasn't quite there yet. So no big deal. We'll pop back outside and be all right. So we'll come down here, grab our manure spreader, get this guy over on the newest grass field, and set him up on a worker so he is ready to go. Surprised that we don't have manure in this pit. All right, well, maybe we already put the manure over there. Maybe I forgot that I did that. So let's go grab the manure out of the dairy barn. Yeah, we got about 6,000 liters left in here. Not bad for getting started. And we'll run over and get that grass field done. It is the right day to sell our milk, which presents us an interesting situation on how we're going to get it over there. We do have our water tender that we're probably not going to be using very much anymore because we have the automatic waterer. And I wouldn't mind sharing the water tender with the milk as well. I don't think those two products would be a problem mixing. We obviously wouldn't do like slurry or fertilizer or herbicide in the tank and then also put milk in there for consumption. So I think that's a reasonable thing to use. There are, I believe, one, maybe even 2 bigger tankers available in the sale that could be interesting, and I'm thinking long term we may need a bigger tanker than our little water tender to run milk up to the dairy, though we'll have to see, because quite honestly we'll probably end up taking it up there most days once we get the production fully up and running. I'd love to buy the dairy. I think it's $210,000. I checked between episodes, and we're just not going to have that kind of money right now. So we're probably either going to have to lease it or just sell the milk for profit right now. And then over time, as we get more money, we eventually buy the dairy and start producing either bottled milk or butter or cheese or potentially buffalo milk. Or buffalo mozzarella. We don't have very much buffalo milk. It's not even worth looking at selling. I think we have a couple hundred liters still. I'm not even sure we've reached 1,000 liters on that yet. So we'll have to see how long that takes. Still trying to buy water buffalo every opportunity we get. There just are not a lot of good animals in the sale. So field work, 1. Yeah, I mean, we can do square corners. That's fine. That's not really a problem. Might be a little bit challenging on this field, but that's all right. Get that done. Excellent. Get that started. I'm not even going to save that course because, well, I guess we're not changing the field. So we could save the course for when we put corn in. Just want to make sure this guy isn't going to go too far over the edge before we jump back into the menu. You can see how steep that field is, guys. Need a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque to get these big pieces of equipment around these fields on these slopes. Glad we have a couple of big tractors to do it. Love the Versatile. Thought it'd be more of a workhorse for us, but a lot of our equipment just needs more power than the Versatile can give us. All right, well, that seems to be working just fine. Let's jump into the menu here, and we're on field 64. We'll come down to manure, save course, and right now we'll save it as 54 because it's not going to be grass long term. It's 64, not 54, so that'll be helpful. Change mode, change name. Yep, and let's just make that 64. Okay. He is off and working. We're going to run across such a cool little creek. Look at all that snow and the water. Very, very cool. So, next order of business for us, we need to get, I believe it's the sunflower oil. Let's take a quick look at the time-saving stock check and see where we are. But I believe we have sunflower oil. Let's see. Yep, sunflower oil is at the BP gas station. Unfortunately, not something we own. Would be nice if that was our gas station, can make some money on it, but not the case today. And we have 29,000 liters of sunflower oil, should be about 63,000, and we are about almost $30 over the best sale price, so we are in good shape on that. I'm going to run down to the oil mill. You guys have seen this drive a bunch of times. I'm not going to drag you along for it. I will catch up with you guys when we are down at the oil mill and have our oil loaded up. And I don't know which gas station the BP is. Maybe it's up by town. Is it that one on the right by the animal dealer, maybe? We'll have to look and see. But I will connect with you guys once we're down at the oil mill and loaded up and ready to head to the gas station. See you guys in a minute. We are loaded up with 30,000 liters of sunflower oil. It's about 2 in the afternoon. Took a little time to get down here and get everything loaded up. Had to run a couple of extra errands, but the BP gas station appears to be down here in Hobson. So we'll go on a little adventure and see what we can find. There's a Buc-ee's. Love that. Oh, hitting a cone here. So I think it's going to be right up here past the flour mill. I'm trying to figure out where this is. I feel like we would have seen it down here before, but, you know, maybe we just weren't paying attention. We'll have to see. Should be right up around this corner. No traffic coming. Yeah, just down here on the left. Just didn't notice it before. Right by the flour mill. That is cool. Great. Another place we haven't been or sold anything. So that's going to be a new experience. Always great to get around the map and see some things and learn where things are. So let's see. There are a lot of trucks at the BP. Gas is $3.39. Doesn't seem that cheap, but hey, you know, maybe it's a good price locally. And we're going to see if this just sells right under here, under the canopy. So 60,000 liters of sunflower oil. $65,306. That is a great sale for us. So now we got to head back up to the farm, and we need to make a decision on what we're going to do about the milk sale, because that needs to be sold today as well. The nice looking farm. Look at those cows out in their field, nice and happy. It's a cool looking barn too. Love that. So we got to figure out what we're going to do about the milk sale. There are 2 milk tankers in the sale, both right around $30,000. I think one's $29,000 and one's $33,000. The $33,000 tanker is the Judith Plains, which has a bit of an extended capacity, which we've already established on this playthrough. We are treating as base game. And then I have a Walker tanker that I really, really like, but it has let's just call it highly modified capacity. And I'm thinking maybe we buy the Walker and I just promise not to use the capacity. It has a capacity over 200,000 liters, which we're just not going to have that much milk. The Judith Plains extension or add-on tanker holds, I believe, 50,000. So I'm thinking maybe we buy the Walker. It is a little bit cheaper, and I just love the way it looks. It's a great looking tanker. Don't quote me on this. I think it's a Whiskey Sierra modding tanker. Really, really well done. And we'll just treat it as if it has a 50,000 liter capacity and just go from there. So I'm going to get pulled back into the farm. It looks like the Case Magnum has completed its manure application on our newest grass field. That'll have to come back at some point as well. But I will probably see you guys up at the shop when we have the new tanker. Man, look at that little wind turbine spinning and drilling water up from the ground and distributing it out to all of our greenhouses. We are automating processes around here, guys. I did take another 1,000 liters of goat milk to the cold storage this morning. We are continuing to produce that. It's not really worth selling at this point. We don't have enough. But the farm is definitely getting up and running. We got to find a couple of ways to make some more money just so we're getting ahead of these loan payments. And we can continue expanding. But I think we are very, very close to that break-even point where we're going to start getting ahead on the finance. So I will see you guys up at the shop when we have decided what tractor trailer we're going to end up with for the milk. See you guys in a minute. Pulling out of the dealership, guys, and we went with the Walker tanker. This thing, I'll show it to you guys real quick. Just a really clean looking tanker. Now, what I did to keep the gameplay within the rules, this is listed as a 65,000 gallon tanker. And the reason it was over 200,000 liters was because that's a conversion from 65,000 gallons to liters. So I just knocked it down to have a capacity of 65,000 liters. So it's actually going to work. So you can see here in the top left, 65,000 liter capacity. So that's what, you know, we're not really gallons to liters, but, you know, we don't want to have a massively unrealistic capacity. So that is what it should be based on being in liters instead of in gallons. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing back to the farm, fill it up with milk, and bring it back up. I think the dairy is right back here, so be just doing a quick return trip to get the dairy, to get the milk sold from our dairy barn, and we'll be back. So I will see you guys in just a minute back at the farm when we're getting this thing filled up. Getting back to the farm now, let's take a look and see. It's a pretty long trailer. I do love the way this thing looks, though. I think, gotta remember where the milk trigger is for our barn, and I think it's behind, so it's behind the manure heap. So yeah, we'll pull through the back by the manure heap, so we're pointed nose out and be able to back down into the dairy tanks to get filled up. So snaking through here. Love this area that we added. This was such a good addition to this farm. Such a better use of the land. It gives us so much more access. All right, so the dairy's in the little shed there. So let's hook the trailer in without hitting the tree, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. I'm not sure we're far enough over to hook that trigger or not. Let's take a quick check. We are. 33,540 liters of milk. And that is going to, let's see, the Country View Dairy. So let's go ahead and tag that. I assume that's going to be right back up in town. Selling for $751. Best price was $763, so we missed that by getting into the afternoon a little bit. But we did maximize the price of the oil, the sunflower oil. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Can't get it all done at the same time. Had to have the sunflower oil sold to be able to afford the tanker. And here we are. So sometimes you lose a couple bucks to make a couple bucks. So not a big deal. I'm going to drive this back up there. I think the only other thing I want to do this episode is run up to the whiskey production, up to Jack Daniels, and grab the whiskey that's sitting outside. Since that's a leased production, I don't really want to leave our produce or our products sitting outside there. So bring that back, put it into cold storage, and get all that done. But first we'll get the milk sold, so I will see you guys up at the dairy. We'll get it sold, and then we'll pop over, grab our whiskey, and that'll be about it for February. And then we're heading into March and getting into spring with some more grass cutting and getting the corn planted. We do need to fertilize our existing corn fields, so we'll probably do some more manure on that coming up. And just keep trying to grow the farm. I'd like to buy one more field before August. Within year 2, I'd like to pick up one more field. I'm not sure what field it's going to be. I'm not sure how big it's going to be, where it's going to be, what it's going to be as far as crops. But we will try to pick that up and have that here. I think if we pick up 3 fields, even if they're small fields this year, we'll be in better shape and set up for year 3. We're slowly building that momentum. Our loan payments are decreasing a little bit each month as the interest is being paid off or the principal is being paid down, and so the interest is not accruing as quickly. So we have that going for us. And I think we are, as I said previously, really at the point where a little bit more sacrifice ends up putting us in a really, really good position to start making a lot of money, because we need to just start accumulating fields at an absolutely massive rate. We got to be up over 100 acres here pretty quickly, and then from there 250, and then obviously eventually 500. So there's the bakery. I guess we have some bread sitting out front we could go pick up as well. So maybe we'll make a round around and pick everything up. Here is the dairy. I didn't even get you guys, didn't even meet you up here. Talk to you. You're off the whole way here. So I think we're going to pull in on this side. I assume that's the trigger. That's a pretty obvious trigger. Let's take a look and see. Yep. Okay, they're ready for our milk. Here we go. So I think we were expecting, what, about $24,000 for this? Yeah, $25,198. Not bad at all. So, anyways, that was our big talk about what we got to do. Man, this is a tough yard to get out of. Hold on, got to focus. I guess we came in the easy way. Yeah, we got to get some fields bought. We got to get our finances to continue pushing forward, but we've talked about all of that, and I think we have a good plan. Just got to stick to it. I'm going to run back to the farm, grab the Super Duty, probably come up here, grab the bread, and then on the way back, pick up the whiskey and put all of that in our storage so we have it locally. So I'll see you guys shortly. We are getting ready to pull into Jack Daniels. We have 16,000 liters of bread picked up. And on my way back, I'm noticing the repair on our truck is not good. So we might end up dropping this guy off at the dealership at the end of the episode and let them do some maintenance on it, make some repairs, and pick it up next episode after they've had some chance to do some work on it, because it is looking a little bit rough. And it is definitely our go-to. We put 86, almost 87 miles on it since getting on the map, and we got it used. So it is definitely been put through its paces, pulling stuff, working over rough terrain, everything else. So maybe time to let them do a little bit of work on it and get it back into shape for us. So let's see what we got here. How many more? Oh, 11,000 more liters. We got a decent amount of whiskey here, guys. Man, oh man. All right, is that going to be about it? Yep, that is it. Okay, so let's get our 16,000 liters of bread back to the farm, along with our 27,000 liters of whiskey. This is a big load. Let's take our time. So I think we already had, what did we say, 20,000 whiskey in storage already. So we're up to 47,000 liters of whiskey, which is great news. I think that's going to be best in May. So coming up here pretty soon, which will give us a nice boost of cash. And that might actually be what pushes us over the edge and gets us to the point where we can buy that third field this year. Let's go down there. We're going to have to fight the Case 90 because I left it down there to get some manure. Never did anything with it to get all lined up to back into cold storage to get all this stuff delivered. We can get it all in there and take a look, and then we will run the Ford up to the dealership and leave it with them to get the work done before we need it back in March. So, not really getting a good approach angle, so let's see. Coming around here. Get everything as lined up as we can. You can tell how heavy this is. We are flexing the suspension on the truck. Get that opened up. And let's see about not hitting the shelf on what is our left-hand side as we look at it, which is our go-to move. Love to do that for some reason. Apparently do that almost every time. I definitely need to pull up on this one. Did not get a wide enough angle on the approach because the case was where I wanted to be for the turn. So, keeping it closer to the back right edge. Without hitting the wall. That is going to get tight real quick, isn't it? That tree's making this real easy. Okay, overdid it just a little bit. Yep. Almost there. There we are. Come on. Kick it around. Nice. I think that's going to be pretty close to getting it all in there. Nice. And didn't hit the shelf on the left. Like a pro, guys. Must be the third or fourth time we've done that, and finally got it done without making a mess of it. So, in cold storage, 72 total pallets. We have 4 pallets of eggs, 18 pallets of bread, 3 pallets of goat's milk, and 47 pallets of whiskey. So, guys, you can see we're getting full in here. It is exciting to have all of this stuff in here stored up and going to make us some money in the future. So, let's get the trailer disconnected. I don't think the dealership wants to deal with the trailer. We'll run the truck up to Ford real quick and drop it off, and then I will probably just meet you guys back at the dealership next episode when it's time to pick it up, and we'll figure out what they decided to replace, repair, and what they decided to do maintenance on to keep us running here, because this truck has been invaluable to our success so far, and we're going to need it to continue to run well for that to make sense. So, run down to the dealership, but I think overall it's a good episode today. Got a lot of little stuff done, fertilizing the field, got the new water pump put in for the greenhouses, we got the milk sold, we got the sunflower oil sold, we bought the new Walker dairy tanker to run our, love looking at the sheep as we drive by in the greenhouses, new Walker tanker to bring our milks up to the dairy, so when we have enough buffalo milk we'll use that too. We picked up the bread, we picked up the whiskey, just all together a lot of running around today, getting stuff done. But as I said, I think we're in really, really good shape moving into the second half of our year here and expect to have quite a bit of success. So I'm going to run in and check in with the guys here at the Ford dealer, drop off the truck. But thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And we'll see you in the next one.